Well, hello. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Kimberly Trummel. So, welcome. I have been working on some new technology, and I'm hoping that what I've done is going to work. My understanding is that I should be able to see when people are online with me, but so far that's not happening. So, welcome. I continue to remove the posts until I am able to see that the technology is doing what I need it to do. So, welcome everyone. We're going to hang out for a few minutes. I'm really not going to go with my original plan. I actually might just do that on Facebook myself because this doesn't seem to be doing what I want it to do. So, anyhow, how is everybody? I'm hoping that what is this telling me? Maybe 77 of you are watching with me. If that's the case, welcome. Having said that, I'm just not used to the counter or lack thereof on this. So I'm just going to go ahead and jump into it. Welcome. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Kimberly Trummel. For those of you who might not know me, I am, let's see, I'm a mom. I've got children, they're all grown up, and I teach. Basically, I just love to teach. It doesn't really matter too much what it is, as long as I, know the material and that I'm able, or if I created the material myself. And so what I generally find is that as long as I meet that two criteria, then I love teaching. So I teach, I educate. That's my thing. I teach I guess is the way I'd refer to that. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and talk about unsung song, unsung songs. Could be a singular song, could be more than one song. There's really, there's no, it could be an unsung song, singular or plural. So, what do I mean in that? Well, basically, if you think about it for a minute, um, everybody has potential, right? There's actually something I truly believe that we are all created for. There's a reason, there's a purpose that we're here. Whether you believe, I'm a person of faith, so I'm not going to try and push that on anyone. But I'm a person of faith, and I actually believe that, God, the universe, made it, brought us here for a reason. Every single time I talk to a student, a client, a coaching client, a member, anything along those lines, I always tell them, you know what? You're here. It's not an accident that you are here. And for that reason, I'm grateful. And so when we think about unsung song, unsung song, unsung songs, plural, the idea that I want you to think about is, what's your song? Right? What's your song? And you're like, what do you mean, what's my song? I don't sing. I'm not asking about you singing. I'm asking, what's your song? What's your song that goes on in your heart every single time you do something you're passionate about? Is your song a really fast one, or you like to go really fast in whatever you're doing, or is it more of a slow, melodic, kind of evenly paced thing? Either song is fine. But when you think about your song, are you singing it? Especially with what we've been going through lately, your first thought might be, well, how can I sing, Kim? Life is so weird, different, unique. It's all of that. That is absolutely true. Life is definitely thrown us some curveballs lately. Um, Seeing things that probably we never thought that we'd see, right? I've actually been working with a lot of leaders in how to manage themselves and their team through crisis, manage their perspective, manage the perspectives of others, things of that nature. But what I wanted to talk today about is you. What's your song? What's your song? Again, it's not an actual song. It's like, for me, and I don't know about you, but I'll kind of explain it. For me, what happens when I am living in my passion is that I disappear. So I'm there, but I'm not there. So, for example, right now, this doesn't seem like work to me. When you do something that you absolutely love, it doesn't feel like work. It just feels like you are one with that which is around you, the universe, whatever you believe in. You just kind of blend in. And that's my explanation. I don't know what your explanation is, but you kind of just blend in. I was talking to a coaching client the other day, and she was saying that she's like, "Oh, I just don't know." And I said, "Wait a minute. Yeah, you do." And she said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, kind of let's walk through this. What is it that you want?" And she said, "Well," and she told me what she wanted. And I said, "Well, why do you want it?" And she says, "Well, because it will help me and it will help my family." And I said, "Okay. And why is that important to you?" So by the time we got further into the conversation, she's like, "What do you mean? Why is that important to me? I'm sitting here talking to you, though we were actually not live. I'm sitting here talking to you, and how is it that you're not grasping what it is?" I said, "Because it doesn't matter so much that I understand your why. It matters you understand your why." And so she thought about it for a minute, and she said, "You know what? You're right." So we talked a little further, and I think that's when the idea of the unsung song came into play. A lot of times, what happens is we go through life kind of surface, especially, well, not always, but I'll speak for myself, especially when, for me, in my younger years, I had a family right out of college, and a family, wife, all these things I had to do. Climb up the ladder, climb up the corporate ladder, make it to where, I felt that was making a difference. And then I realized finally, and actually it's something that happened during COVID, I realized, wow, I'm glad I did all this because it absolutely helped me. But by the same token is where I really, really feel that I disappear and I'm living in my purpose. And I don't mean disappear literally. I mean it figuratively. If I'm living in my purpose, then I just become. This will sound so corny, but that shouldn't surprise you. I become one with my surroundings. So, what I want to mention to you as we draw close to our time on this, and I wasn't going to record this, but then I thought, go ahead, record it. Excuse me, I'm going to adjust my collar. Go ahead and record it. Take a look at this, see how I feel it's coming out, because I want to make sure that at first I wanted to make sure you could hear it. You can. Wanted to make sure you could see it. You can. The only thing I'm unable to do right now is to see your reactions, and boy, do I miss them. But I'll work on that. But if nothing else, I didn't want to have to do something and not go back, circle back and finish it. So the unsung song or songs, that's your song. When you look back on your life today, fast forward into the future, what is it that you want to remember? What is it about you and how you behaved within this time frame? And I don't mean were you good or bad. I don't mean that. It's not a judgmental statement. Is it were you authentic to whom you are and to your purpose? I've been observing a lot of wonderful people on Facebook, my friends in real life and my friends that have become my friends in virtual life and turned into real friends. I've seen everybody work on, tweaking themselves and actually getting to a place where, they're accomplishing where they feel they're in their purpose. So when I talk about an unsung song, I'm talking about your song. What's your purpose? Are you living it? If you're not, have you considered why? First off, you have to know where you are. You have to figure out where you're going. And then there's oftentimes a gap between those two things. And what happens is we could start out here and then, we go to our next level and then our next level. And subsequently through time, we get to our next level selves. I was working with one of the presidents, or the president of my alma mater not too long ago. And we did a celebration for his graduation. And his dad was there and it was virtual. And he really enjoyed having positivity spoken into his life. And I thought to myself, that's one thing that we can do to live in our purpose, is to make certain to speak positivity into each other's lives. Getting to a place where it's quiet, it's just you and the four walls. Sometimes that quiet bursts the most beautiful things. So when I think about unsung song, unsung songs, that's almost a tongue twister. I'm talking about, are you living in your purpose? So when you reflect on this, explore it, take a look at it, and then also kind of think about, how do you identify your purpose? Many of you already know what that is, but you might be getting to your next level self, which means that there's more for you to unpack and for you to explore. So I'll close with this. Are you an innovator? Basically, are you a person who loves to introduce new ideas, new methods? Are you a motivator? I know a couple of you, you're motivators. You motivate me. That means, do you have a natural, innate ability to motivate others and act and help them in fulfilling their goals? Are you a great organizer? Are you really good at organizing? I know sometimes I need help in that area, but sometimes you would think I was an organizer by trade, but then the rest of the time, you wouldn't think that at all. Are you committed? Are you committed to doing what you want, no matter what? And I think that with the no matter what part, that's usually the place where we're like, wow, no matter what? You mean I wake up today, I don't feel like doing such and so, and I'm just going to do it anyways? And the answer is yeah, you are. I mean, you don't have to, but there's value in doing it. Are you tenacious? Do you not give up? Are you persistent? Things of this nature. So maybe start with a list of adjectives that describe you, and then just kind of look at them and figure out which ones you think fit you. You might even come up with some adjectives that you aspire to be. Maybe you're not there yet. That's okay. We're all a work in progress. So anyhow, that was my thought on Unsung Song and Unsung Songs, plural. And hopefully there is something that you've gotten out of this. It's been about 5 to 7 minutes long. I generally time myself. Usually when I don't, I go on, but I usually get to the point. But I didn't want to do that. I wanted to make sure that I could, number one, check out the technology. That's working well. A couple kinks I'm going to work on before moving forward. But other than that, be well, stay up. Stay up. I don't mean don't sleep. I mean, stay up, stay positive. Stay into positive books. Remember, treat yourself right. Self-care is probably the biggest thing that you could do to pour in. So you can pour into others, you have to pour into yourself first. It's like you can't give from an empty vessel. So thank you all. Again, I really appreciate each and every one of you. Have the most amazing afternoon as possible. And I am going to end this now, and you all have a great day. Bye-bye for now.